What a guy, Jerry. Big shout out to Jerry. This guy's going to go very far. I just had a coaching call with Jerry, and I just want to say, man, that guy's got so much potential to do super well. I feel motivated just speaking with him. Okay, so I'm about to do a coaching call with somebody that reached out to me from Instagram. It's not something that I am really pushing for. I don't really push anyone to do coaching calls with myself. But when people ask, I can't turn people down. You know, if people are willing to, pay me some money to do a coaching call, I 100% will do it with them. I do want to give back. I try and give back as much as I can through the YouTube. But also with the coaching, it's more one-to-one. You know, there's certain things what people might want to ask that I've not really spoke about on YouTube. So yeah, definitely one-to-one coaching calls. I'm down. Hit me up.
Good money in those houses, so
yeah,
I was really interested.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Like the reason I wanted to go for one of those houses is because when I was younger, I believe I was about 16, 15, 16, and I always used to drive past that same road.
Yeah.
And I always used to think to myself, whoever owns those properties is killing it. Like they must be making money because I knew they were student houses.
Yeah.
So I always used to drive past like, I bet the landlord's making a lot of money on those.
Yeah.
And then now I end up actually becoming one of those landlords.
Like because I was at football college, so I was thinking to myself, I mean, I could carry on with this, so I could try to find something else. Because at the time, like, I still like football, but I thought, I wanted to look into more things. So I started discovering about more entrepreneurship things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was looking online through seeing how to make money online because obviously you do everything. I was thinking,
yeah,
you
want to do something.
Get quite interested, yeah. So then I was looking about drop shipping, heard about trading, and I also heard about property, like real estate investing. But I was thinking, I mean, I'm only 18. How can I get a house or anything? So
yeah,
I was getting interested in a lot of stuff, and then I heard there's a point to get a job as well to begin half of this thing. So I got a job at B&Q. I'm still working there now, saving money.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can start investing into some properties or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wicked. So are you currently at uni as well, or you don't do uni? You just.
Oh no, I'm at college now. Second year college.
Okay, sound.
Yeah.
And what are you studying at college, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm doing business right now, and I'm doing my English GCSEs research.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Because I did business in college as well.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I didn't gain anything, man. I was in there and I just felt I was struggling to keep up with the coursework. Yeah, I just fell behind in the work-wise because I'm dyslexic, so I struggle with the actual work. But it just kind of proves that, it doesn't really matter too much if you are struggling in college or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good that you've got a B&Q position as well.
Yeah, the thing with college as well, I just feel like with school, I did all right at school, but I just felt like it was preparing me for a 9-to-5 job. Yeah. Instead of thing, and I wasn't into that because my biggest one of my biggest fears is that I don't want to just work 9 to 5 up to the age of 65, just enough to retire and then just sit there in a care home counting my final days. That's the thing I was scared about.
Dead.
So I was thinking,
dead.
How do people that get rich have money and stuff? I also wanted to make sure the thing that I'm doing, I wanted to make sure I also enjoyed, because that's the main goal. You do something that you get paid well, that you enjoy, you have freedom from it. So that was one of my big things. That's why when I found you doing property just here, I was really excited about that. So.
Definitely, man, definitely. When you think of a landlord, you do think they got money.
Yeah.
And it's more time true. So it's that's kind of what attracted me at the start as well. Just basically wanting to become wealthy, rich, and when I started to study it hard, I realized that, a lot of the people, they're doing it through property.
Yeah.
So, and it's something what you don't need to be super educated about in terms of book smart or anything like that. I think as long as you can understand it and just get the basics, you will make money, If you go advanced and do some advanced strategies, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I just think it's how far do you want to take it, because even if you just saved up money, bought a couple HMOs, you would still be set for life. You still get a couple grand. If you do it right, couple grand coming in every month, That's just the easy way to do it. But if you do it like more advanced method where you buy something and turn it into a HMO, refinance it, pull all your money back out, buy another, do it again, buy another, keep recycling your money, you can grow a bigger portfolio. If you had 10 HMOs, boy, you should be looking per HMO, you should be looking a minimum of around 800. You know, and that's a 4-bed. When you start doing 5-bed and 6-bed, you're looking about 2,000 per month profit. So, yeah, profit-wise, the money's there to be made. But it's competitive, man. It's a competitive market. Got to make sure that if you do one, the rooms have got to be on job, you know.
And also I had a few questions as well.
Yeah.
Like one of my questions was, because I feel like there's people like around 18, 20, 21 or so, like around that age, I feel like they're very scared to get into it just because they feel like, personally, that's why I didn't get into it like straight away. Like I was on the fence about things because I was thinking, how can I get into it? How would the banks, you know, give me a loan or something? Like, I didn't know exactly how to get into it because I didn't have a lot of money. So how would someone like just starting out be able to do it?
Yeah, so basically I talk about this quite a lot in YouTube and stuff like that. So when I started out, I got a residential mortgage, which basically there's two types of mortgages. There's residential and then there's buy to let. So residential is where you live in the property. So you're buying something to live in. Buy to let is when you're buying it to rent out. But what I actually did was I got a residential mortgage, a residential property, and I did live in it. But then I contacted my lenders, the bank, and I said, can I rent out my spare rooms? They said yes. And I was able to rent out all of my spare rooms. And then I made like $550 profit and I was living for free. I guess to answer your question, the first thing would be, which you've already done, is to get the job. Keep that, hold on to that. And then I guess make sure your credit's on point. So there's 3 kind of aspects. There's the income, you know, your job. They'll look at how much you're earning in a year and times that by 4 or 4.5, and that's how much you can borrow on a mortgage. So if you're earning 20k, you can borrow like around 100k. Around 90k. There is some leeway there. That it's not always the set, but that's just in general what you can borrow. So yeah, basically the 2 main things is the job, so your income, and your credit, making sure you got decent credit. And then from there it's just a case of finding the deal and getting the deposit.
And also, basically, what's some of the tips that you probably give as well? Because I know you're trying to speak about that. So when you probably say your first, what price range you kind of looking for the first property, and from there, when you get that first property, what should you do first from there?
Yeah, so I think firstly you got to determine your strategy. Are you looking to do something similar where you buy something, live in one of the rooms and rent out other rooms? So I think if you're looking to do that, then you need to make sure it's in a non-Article 4 area. So basically Article 4 is a planning restriction. So basically the government have said, right, in Bradford, there's too many HMOs, there's too many shared houses. It's overpopulated. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a law which says you can't do shared houses in that area without getting planning permission. And anyone that applies for planning permission, they just reject it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the Article 4 covers the whole of the city boundary, but it doesn't cover areas like Beeston, West Bridgeford, Mapley, Carlton. So that's 4 areas that you could go to and buy something in those areas, and you could do up to 6 bedrooms with no planning. So I'd say for your first one, if you're looking to do that, look to buy something in one of those areas. Obviously they are a bit more pricey areas, so you'll have to get a bit more deposit and potentially you'd have to be earning quite a bit more money. But I think you can do it, man.
Yeah.
You can do it. Are you full-time at B&Q or you're part-time?
Doing like, because obviously I'm doing college as well, so I'm doing like 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
I try to do overtime as much as I can, to be honest.
That's it, man. That's it. Just keep doing that overtime, and if you can, try and do full-time there, man. When you don't need to do it yet, because this is how you can do it. What I've seen some people have recommended for them to do, they've done it and it's worked. Is basically they only get a job for 3 months. And it's full time. It's like 40 hours a week. The pay's really good. So they have 3 different pay slips. They show that to the banks, and they're like, "Yeah, you can get a mortgage." So, because all you need is 3 months. As long as your credit's okay or good, you're fine.
That's true.
Yeah. So the main things, obviously, your deposit, getting that money together for the deposit, your credit, making sure you've got decent credit. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it can be, as long as it's okay, then you're all right. Mine was like below average and I still secured a mortgage. And then I guess the third thing is your job, so your income. So I think keep working on all 3 of them, and you'll be in good stead.
And also, I know, so I got loads of questions.
That's right, man. This is what I'm here for.
If I wanted to go to uni, so that might be something I might do. Going to uni.
So
I'm saying, if I go to uni in Manchester, for example, well, I get a property here in Nottingham. Are you still able to kind of work that? Are you able to?
Yeah, 100%. You can definitely work that. I mean, what I'd recommend you do is try and do your first one to wherever you're living. So say if you're living in Nottingham, then try and do it in Nottingham. If you're living in Manchester, then try and do it in Manchester. But you've always got the option to actually get an agent to manage it for you. So you don't have to live in the same city. You could actually get your manager to do the property management for you. So you're not limited to staying in the same city. But I'd definitely recommend you do it close to where you live. Just because it's a lot easier.
Spoke about a few books as well. I think it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
And there was another one as well, which I can't quite remember. So I was going to ask you, what other books do you recommend reading as well?
Yeah, so the 2 books that I recommend to everyone that wants to get into property is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that's by Robert Kiyosaki. That is a must. Have you read that one yet?
No, I haven't.
Defo read that. Defo.
I heard a lot of people talk about that book.
Yeah. It's more of like a financial book, assets versus liabilities. It just goes over a lot of the financial side of things, what people aren't really educated on. Neither was I. Like, we don't learn this stuff in school. So I'd say definitely read that one. And then second to that is a book by Rob Moore, and it's called The 44 Property Secret. Link to it or something like that. I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how does like a typical day look like for you? Because I don't know. Obviously, I know. Is it like usually busy, or is it? How does it look like for you? Because I know I saw your day in your life video with Bilky Banks, but how do you like run on these properties that you have? Or what do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think every day is kind of different. I think that a lot of the time my days are a lot more chilled out. But sometimes my days are super busy. Like, for example, today we've got a super busy day. A lot of the time now I'm more focused on making content as well. So like recording the YouTube videos. The reason behind that is because there is selfish reasons behind it as well. I want to help people, number one, but I also want to get my name out there, my face out there a lot more as well. So I mean,
that's what most people are doing anyway today. Like, everyone's on social media anyway. So it's very smart to do.
It is, and I think it's definitely helped me so much. So I do like to focus on that as well. But basically, a normal day for me would be wake up, go to the gym, get my mind right, do some affirmations, like looking at this visualization. You see, like in the background here? It's similar to that, but it's a load of like luxury things that come on the screen. So every single morning I watch that to get my head in the right frame of mind. It's like, the law of attraction. It's that type of thing. So I basically just vision myself in these settings, vision myself walking on that beach or in that car. And it just puts me in the right frame of mind to start the day. So then I watch those, have some food, go to the gym, do my workout, come back, and I'll probably look for some properties to view. So I look on Rightmove, Zoopla, any leads I've got in terms of direct to landlord or anyone that's mentioned, oh, I know this house is for sale, or I've got a house for sale. I just follow up on all those leads. And just make sure you keep following up. So say like if you was about to buy a house but someone secured the house before you, then basically sometimes I just give the agent a call and say, hi, did that sale go through? Because if it falls through, then please contact me because I still like to buy it. And then look on Rightmove and Zoopla, spend probably an hour or so looking, maybe 40 minutes because I've got quite a tight criteria what I'm looking for. So a few areas in Nottingham that I've just got my eyes on all the time. So yeah, I'd spend an hour or so looking for deals online and then follow up on any leads I've got and then book in some viewings. So if I think something's got potential and I just want to check it out, then I'll book it in with the agent and then that will all be in my diary or scheduled in on my app on my phone. You know, the calendar app. I just use that and I just put in the different things I've got to do. Probably link up with my videographer, make a YouTube video, any coaching calls, mentorship calls, I do those. And then anything that needs doing with the properties, I do that alongside everything. So say on the way back from the gym in the morning, I'll just fly down to my project, check in on my builders, make sure that everyone's happy, everyone's working. And then I'll come home and do like property hunting, trying to close more deals. And then also in the day, I have probably a few calls every day with my different joint venture partners. So that's like people that fund the deals, if that makes sense. So that's a whole nother avenue to the property game. And that's the game changer, man. That's the game changer right there.
So, what are some of the biggest life lessons you've learned, whether it's in property or just life in general?
But my biggest life lesson is to just feel the fear and go for it anyway. Like if you're feeling scared, you're feeling like, oh, I want to do YouTube, but I'm scared, man. People might laugh or people might think I'm stupid. Just fucking do it. Literally, that's my life motto, man. Just do it. Because that's been my biggest life lesson, because I was holding back for that many years that when I started to put myself out there and actually go for it, that's when I made the biggest changes, you know. And then other life lessons is just be your own man. Like, don't try and fit in. Don't try and like be cool, be that cool guy. Forget that. It don't mean nothing. That's kind of my life lessons, man.
I'll put tips on that. Let's say after you get your first property, how would you like scale something like this?
I think that's the biggest aspect to it, of where you can go right or wrong, you know, because I feel like if you do it right on your first purchase, then what you can actually do is you can recycle your money on a deal. So say like if you buy something for the right price, you're able to do it up. For example, say if you bought it for 80,000, but it's actually worth 100,000. You then spend £20,000 on it, and it's worth say 160. When it's done, then you're able to go back to the bank and say, right, I bought this for 80k, I spent 20k on it, and I believe it's now worth 160. They might come out and they might say, yeah, we think it's worth about 150. That's still great news. Because then you're probably able to pull out about £50,000.
When you use that to reinvest in it.
Yeah, man. So it's called remortgaging. It took me ages to get my head around remortgaging. I didn't understand it. But once I did, it was a game changer, because I was like, right, now I know what to do. I need to do something that I can remortgage when it's done, when I've done it up, and pull out as much money as I can. So that was a game changer because that's what I've managed to do several times. Sometimes you have to leave in a little bit of money, say 5k, 10k, but a lot of the time you're able to pull out all your money. And that's what you want to do. You want to look for a deal where you're confident you can pull out all your money.
Yeah, and what can you do, like some of the things you can do, because there might be times when you might lose money, so what would you do in situations like that?
Rule number one, man, don't lose money.
Yeah.
You need to be knowing that when you're doing a deal, you need to know to yourself, right, I'm not going to lose money. I'm going to make money on this deal. Yeah. You need to be so confident. And I think the confidence comes from viewing so many deals.
Yeah.
So you might look at, say, 100 properties, 100 deals, and buy one. You might make offers on 20 properties and you only get one accepted because you're making low offers. So I feel like if you use the strategy of being very, very picky and knowing exactly what you want and knowing the deal is going to work from that confidence of analyzing it 100 times over, that's where you know to yourself, I'm not going to lose money. There's always a risk, don't get me wrong, but I think the due diligence and the research time, the study time, will pretty much ensure that you don't lose money. Unless something goes majorly wrong. Yeah. People that do good, you know, get promotions, get bonuses, stuff like that. They're the ones that come in every day and they try. Yeah. So it's the same with a sales job, man. So it's, I won't say it's hard. I'd say if you apply yourself, then it's easy.
Yeah, speaking about that, because it seems like everything that you do in life, whether I'm trying to get into property or anything, everyone tells me, oh yeah, that's going to be hard, you can't do it. But it's like, that's with everything. Everything's going to be hard. So
yeah, man.
It's like anything you put your effort in, like everything's going to be hard. You have to choose what kind of thing going to be hard. Like
that's it. I just think you can pick what you want to do. So like, luckily I picked something what's very profitable. Because I used to do like, I used to want to be a professional kickboxer. And I was giving that my max effort and I was getting results. But it was one of those where the end game would be you get a belt, a championship belt, but you'll never be like a multi-millionaire from it. Only that top 1% will. But if you look at all the property people in the world, you know, loads of them are very, very, very wealthy. So it's like, I think it's what you choose to do. So I'm just thankful that I've managed to choose something what's very, very profitable in the end. And like,
that's like you said, that's like kind of my ultimate goal for me to have like freedom from as well.
Yeah, man.
That's the goal,
Definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah. So, but just to warn you, man, like, there's gonna be some haters along the way. Like, if you're serious about this thing, like, there's gonna be people that, especially when you're starting out, which is weird. Which is weird. Like, for the first year or 2 years, you're just gonna feel a lot of hate coming your way, and it's fucking weird. When you start to do better, you get more positive stuff, but like that comes far, far down the road. Like for me, it's only now that I have people saying, "Oh, Luigi, man, well done! Like, keep going, keep going, keep going." But before, man, it was like the first 2 years, they won't be very hate to my face, but they're just act weird towards me, make snide comments, you know. So just be careful of that. But also, your circle of people around you might change. So just make sure you have your you time where you're studying. And my biggest tip for you would be, if you are really wanting to get into property, would be to study the shit out of it right now. Like literally study it like crazy over the next couple of years, man. Like literally every day. So I think that's my main thing, man. I just say to people, listen, how bad do you want it? Are you studying every day? Yes or no? Like that's what it comes down to. And if you do struggle to find material to study, just watch it all. Go on YouTube and watch every single property video. And whoever you like to watch the most, just watch them more. You got Samuel Leeds, Sad Hussein, Rob Moore, myself, Justin Wilkins. You got Poku, people like that. Who's more on the finance side.
I get it. I totally will be. Definitely. Yeah, I heard you mention that. Quite a few times that studying is very important.
bro, I just want to like drill it into people's heads. If you're not studying, there's no point because you're not going to learn what to do. Like, you need to know the strategies. And you can study the different sides. There's the mindset side, which is what we've touched on a bit today, like life lessons and stuff like that. And there's also the strategy side, like the technical bits. They're both as important as each other. So I like to study both sides. A person what's really good for mindset is Grant Cardone. Have you seen him? Check him out a bit more on YouTube. Watch all of his stuff, Grant Cardone. He does events as well. So you might want to go down to one of his events and just get motivated from him because he's crazy good. Any difficult questions, like personal questions or anything, anything on your mind, you can ask me. I'm an open book.
Drop shipping into anything I can make money from.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it's like you were saying to concentrate on one thing as well. So what for me as well, because I want to get into it. So that's should I think of best for me to do like HMOs or what should I? What do you think would be like best?
I think right now, the most crucial. I think right now the most crucial thing for you would be the study time. So to look at all the different strategies, and when I say study time, I mean going in depth into all the different strategies, and then deciding what works best for you. But just remembering that all of them are going to be hard. The easiest thing to do, in my opinion, is to buy something. That's the easiest thing to do. Instead of doing rent to rent or lease option agreements or anything like that, the easiest thing to do is buy something. The hard thing about that is getting the deposit together, making sure your credit's good, making sure you've got a good job that pays well. If you can get those three components together, I'd say buy something, and that will set you up for a long time. Because as soon as you're on that ladder, they call it a ladder for a reason. You can keep on climbing up. You know, what do you do on a ladder? You go on the first bit, and then you just keep going higher. So I'd say get onto that ladder, and I wouldn't push anyone to do rent to rent because it's more of a business. But if you're doing buying properties, it's still a business, but it's an asset base. It's actually an asset. So you own something that every month pays you money, pays you profit. With the rent to rent, you don't own the properties. So you don't get the capital appreciation. You don't have any equity. I always encourage people to buy, you know, to get onto that ladder, do it the right way, and just keep on buying and buying more. Because do you know about capital appreciation?
No.
Basically, it's just a fancy word for properties going up in value over time. So like, say you bought something today for 100,000, a house, 4-bed house in Nottingham. And then say 10 years time, it doubles in value. Because if you look historically, house prices double in value every 10 years. So if you bought something for 100k now, in 10 years time, it should be worth 200k, if that makes sense. It's not a rule of thumb. It doesn't happen like that every time. For example, my mum bought a house 25 years ago for 80,000 and it's now worth 430,000 or something crazy like that. But that's because that location boomed. They made a high street. They started investing a lot of money into that area, and it became a bit of a trendy area. So the values of all the houses just went up. They skyrocketed. So yeah, you want to look at that as well, capital appreciation. So you want to look in an area where you think this could go up in value over time. But the main thing you want to buy for is cash flow. That's the main thing. You want to say, how much profit am I going to get per month off this deal, off this house?
Okay. So you understand that.
Yeah. Did they answer your question all right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's all right. I wasn't sure if I just went off on a tangent, but
no.
You know, hopefully it helped. Yeah. Shows.
No, thank you for doing this for me. You helped me a lot today.
Yeah, no worries, man. It just shows the initiative of, listen, you understand the value of learning, you know. So I think if you just keep that, you'll go far, man. Like, just keep learning, and yeah, you'll do this.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's been great meeting you, man.
Yeah, no worries. Take time. Nice one. See you in a bit. See you later, man. Bye. Okay, so just want to say, man, that guy's got so much potential to do super well. I feel motivated just speaking with him. to be honest with you. So yeah, that was a great call. Hopefully he learned a lot from that call. We went over some mindset stuff, some life lesson stuff. We went over some technical stuff, some property strategies, determining his strategy, what would be best for him. So we touched over a lot of different things in that 1 hour call. But you know what? Big shout out to you, Jerry, man. Keep going. You've got big potential. So yeah, just keep pushing and keep studying.